this project was brought to me by a really good friend. Now he's a really good friend. After the shoot, we became great friends. His name's Suraj. Suraj is a director. He's over in New York. He does a lot of projects in Dubai. He's got a lot of really amazing creative projects. You'll see his name on our pitch deck here in a little bit, so go give him a follow. Go check out some of his work. It's really top-notch. I've learned so much from this man. Some of the new processes that I'm going to be showing you today are things that I learned from him while working on this project. And that is the way that he talks about and used Unreal Engine to do some of his previs. It's now how I'm developing my storyboards and my campaigns for our clients. And I'm hoping that this creates a spark for you to be able to create top level stuff and win some really great major leads and clients. The project we're going to be talking about today is about an Acura project. And so our prop was a car. And so my good friend Suraj came to us and said, hey, I want to make this video. So again, I had all these questions. I was like, so what's the tone? What's the mood? What's the vibes? So he had already come with all those questions answered for us and presented an incredible pitch deck. Morgan, I'm ready to bring up this pitch deck.
All right, let me bring this thing up.
And so when he was like, hey, Justin, I have this idea that I want to do. And he was like, it's really going to be a spec piece, Justin. I really want to just showcase this, what's possible. And so, obviously everybody's like, I'll hear your idea, and I had just heard from met Suraj at this time. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's show me your pitch, show me your idea. Like, I'm willing to hear it, right? So if you got a good idea and a good story, I'm gonna lean into it. So his idea was beyond human. And so he said he wanted to do a car spec ad. And so for me, I've been doing cars commercials for a while now. Capital One is one of the most videos I've made about cars. So how fast does it drive? Like how much space is in there? And all of these videos are get hundreds of thousands of views, and some of them got millions. But they're all not the most exciting. They're all like very informationally driven. And I was dying and itching to create something beautiful that's a story. And I've been kind of pitching this to them for months, if not years. Like, let's tell really cool stories about these cars. And so when I'm listening to this pitch, I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I've been wanting to do. Just immediately in this first intro, like this is exactly what.
Yeah. The first image you can.
I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, you can already.
I didn't even read the thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh,
aesthetic.
just the vibes. And I'm like, okay, so this is again, he just needed something to immediately sell it. It's like, this is the visual style, and I'm like, this is sexy. This is cool. I dig this. So he already grabbed my attention. And so he already knew that he wanted to have a script. He read the script for me out loud. And then I'm like, okay, well, do you have a storyboard? That was even before he's like, I got you a storyboard. So like when you're coming to your clients with an idea, like he did all of this before he even came to me, right?
Yeah.
So like having the idea fully fleshed out and presenting this to a client, which, in a sense, I was his client because he needed to get me to invest into the project. So he had everything thought out fully. So we had our storyboards. So he had every individual shot that he was imagining. So this idea that he came to me was like, I really want to do a McLaren. And I was like, okay, we know some people with some McLarens.
You just a couple guys with McLaren.
Yeah, I do. There's a couple of friends, So but Suraj had a vision. So I spent days looking for McLarens, and I found a couple of them, but none of them were in the color of his choice. I found a white one. I found like a green one or
How
other
important
colors.
was the color?
The color was so important.
Yeah.
It was so important. It needed to be extremely dark, and so that helped with the reflections of our LED wall on the vehicle. So if we had a white, bright vehicle, the colors don't shine through on the car itself. It does not wrap around it. And we wanted to immerse everybody in the shot. So he insisted on there being a black car. So I searched far. I posted Instagram posts. I reached out to other friends, and they're like, I got this car, I got that car. And surprisingly, none of them were coming back black.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like every single option that I was getting. And we were coming down to the wire. We're like maybe 48 hours, maybe 72 hours, somewhere pretty close to our timeline that we really wanted to execute. He's going to go back to New York. He was going to be starting a new project in Dubai. So like we had to hit our deadline. He had to get it back. So, we ended up finding one of our friends. Her name was Raquel. She worked at a car dealership, and Sonic Automotive, and we found a beautiful Acura, and it was dark, and so we had to pivot. It's no longer a McLaren commercial; it's an Acura commercial.
Yeah.
So, that being said, all of our previs were all done in Unreal Engine. So this car right here on scene number 1, I'll just zoom in for you real fast so you can see it. This is all in Unreal Engine. This is not a real image.
So, okay. So, like, none of it. Like, there's
None
not
of
even,
this
like,
is
any,
real.
like, foreground
None of
elements?
this is, nothing is real. This was,
wow.
he came into my facility with this image. And so the way he did that was he created a Unreal Engine scene, right? It's like Fortnite.
Yeah.
You go create, he was like, oh, maybe he pulled some assets and different things from other packs, right? He's like, I really like this texture of this concrete. I really like these light panels or whatever it is, right? And put these things in. He probably purchased this McLaren on like Turbo Squid for like $10 or $5 and was able to put this into that environment.
I mean, how many creatives, directors, like DPs do you think are that proficient? Because I mean, I feel like for people who are even, I don't know, I haven't really used a lot of Unreal, but for me, I feel like this looks like something that would take even time. Like you would need to be skilled in Unreal to create this kind of.
Well, the level of perfection that Siraj is trying to achieve, he's trying to tell a very specific story. Yeah. Right. That story is that, even robots want to be human. Right. And that's the whole story that he's driving here is like they want to live. They want to feel the thrive of this vehicle. So he had a very specific story. And even here in a minute, when I show you all the animatic, I was like, are you kidding me? You still want to film this? Like, it looks done to me. And he's like, this is the worst it's ever going to look kind of thing. And I was like, wow, okay, well, you're going to level me up, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like from what we've like learned, like, I mean, and what is that like combining the virtual and like the physical, the foreground elements is how you create like spectacular image.
Yes.
Because like that looks good by itself on just a freeze frame, but I know I've seen the finished product. It can look a lot better than that. It can look
really
a lot
can.
better. Yeah.
But but you'll see. Take a mental glimpse of what this image looks like right now, and you'll see our final product.
Yeah.
But here, so we've got just a few different clips. Zoom back out, go to the next one. So Siraj went through and was able to take these images from Unreal Engine and probably had a metahuman or even no metahuman and told AI to put a hand on this car. And so he could get, he got the angle that he wanted of the car, and then was able to put, say, Kling AI, Banana, whatever, all these different ones, put a hand here on the left side of the frame, right? And so he's able to tell his story a little bit better, right? And so each shot, some of these, like,
those
again,
reflections are insane.
It's all done in Unreal Engine in real time, guys.
It's insane.
Like the reflections. So when you have a reflection or a light inside of Unreal Engine, you put that car inside of Unreal Engine, those lights reflect onto that car.
Yeah, because it's not like static images. They're generated. They're like elements that have to be processed. So it can bounce off of stuff. Yeah. Unreal's crazy.
It's an incredible piece of equipment or software, and it's also free. I love to mention that it's free. It's free. You can create incredible shots. There's a shot here in a little bit. When you show you, you'll see it. This shot right here in the video, it fools me still.
Yeah.
In the video that we filmed, we forgot to capture the shot. Not forgot, we just kind of ran out of time. Yeah. And Siraj ended up just using his Unreal Engine shot, and I was like, it looks so good. It looks so good.
I don't know. I guess maybe I think not enough people realize that Unreal Engine can be a tool for like video and creating those kind of things. Like I think people always just jump to like video game creation, but no, it can be, you can make a commercial with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, we're just continuously telling the story. He wanted to showcase it turning on. He gives us all these visuals and like with the timing of everything with our voiceover. So this is a great example of if you're trying to make a pitch deck, you're trying to show storyboards, take this as an example. Use these as tools. We kind of keep moving forward. We wanted to make it feel like we were traveling, right? We went from this garage, cyber thing to the future, right? While we're driving in this neon scene, like that's not possible, right? Like where are you gonna find a road like this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only way to do this is to generate it or create an environment, use an LED wall or a 3D and Unreal Engine.
And even if you did, how much is that going to cost? You know, are you gonna? What's the insurance going to look like on that car if you're driving it high speeds?
If Acura actually paid for this project to block off the streets to light this whole scene, it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
we're talking about Fast and Furious 17, y'all.
Yeah, and why do that? Like when you don't have to.
And we have all the tools here. So more storytelling. We ended up having to cut a few of these shots because of just time.
Yeah.
And then we felt that we could actually tell the story a little quicker. All of this again, Siraj made from scratch. It was like I wanted it to be coming home to what looked like a very minimalistic, futuristic, robotic AI's house, right? They just need a big room, and I thought he nailed it with the design and the simplicity of this like the build out that he did here. Really after this, he really kind of break down the various shots so we can kind of see all of them consecutively, like how they should all kind of match. So like me as a DP, I'm like, okay, I love this garage scene. This is all of the look. So he said the various angles inside of the garage scene. So he's like, this is that look. And then when we leave this garage scene, we're gonna be the variation angles of our tunnel scene of it driving through. And I thought this was just a really great way to just always bring it back to what you want it to look like. And again, for the final scene, our variations of our modern home. Again, these were done in Unreal Engine. It's so incredible to see. Take a mental image of what this image looks like right now and what we actually captured. So breaking down how he wanted to break this whole thing apart. He needed to tell me what he wanted virtually, what I needed to capture physically in the camera. And so this was one of his ways to be able to do this. So in Unreal Engine, in virtual production, the best way to tell a visual story is to have more practical things in the real world, right? We wanted to have a person. We wanted to have the ground, water, reflections, light, ambience, haze, all these different things. And you got to make them all orchestrate together and be in the right place to be perceived if they're all right there, right? So to break this down, we needed a fake pillar, right? So I had a little corner in my studio that was originally painted white. So I just painted it gray so it looked like it was a concrete pillar. Piece of thing I had in the studio already. Parking spot. This right here, he wanted something physical in there. I had a piece of styrofoam. I just sliced it and put a piece of tape with the yellow stripes on there. We picked it up from Home Depot for $2, and I just ripped up styrofoam and spray painted it, gray, and then it's going to be so out of focus. You just need the essence of it, just the placement of there, right? And then we have our painted black floors. I told him he couldn't paint our floors.
Yeah.
So he had to lean into our floors. They're gray. So you'll see it here. We wanted to wet down the floors. That was his biggest concern. He's like, can I put water on your floor? I really want to have it like a early, late night, like just had rained kind of thing. So we could like blend the two worlds together. We wanted to have some really soft diffusion lighting on the car. So that means we needed to have it above a really big light. He's like, do you have a grid? I said, yeah, we got a big grid above so we can put like a big box light above the car.
Okay, sick.
Then we had our hazer. He's like, because he wanted the atmosphere, and then obviously our car. And And then we have another breakdown. So obviously this is our first scene, and this is kind of our last scene. And so we have the same shots, and I loved how he did this. This is so great.
Yeah,
I think
he really left no room for error.
Yeah,
or like,
and this is how feature films and major productions are happening, because there's no time to be wasted. If you're spending, like, let's just say you're doing Hawkeye, the next Hawkeye film, they're paying him $10 million.
yeah.
There's no time and there's no room for failure, because his overages.
Yeah.
Like,
if you need him for an extra day, he's
like,
like, ooh.
you're costing the team another $100,000. You know?
Yeah.
So there's no room for error. Like, we can't. So he wanted to come in. He knew we had to execute on one day with a pre-light, and he was like, look, if I can get the pre-light, Justin, I'll take it. But if you're not going to be able to give me, we got to be more precise with the time. So, he left no room for error, right? I mean, but there was also room that Suraj kept mentioning. He wanted room for interpretation as well, right? He wanted to be able to change a few things, maybe a lighting or adjustments and stuff. And so he knew he had his narration, his a fundamental idea, but was able to change his ideas on the fly. And so here's a little bit about Suraj, incredible director, cinematographer. He's done things for Coca-Cola and Nikon and some other major brands for Pepsi, Sony. He's been all over Europe, Russia, India, Middle East, Dubai. I mean, after I found out who he was and did this project, I was just so honored to be in here and work with him. And the final piece was incredible.
In an age of automation, we've abandoned what makes us human, the visceral connection between human and machine. Even machines dream of being human. The all-new Acura NSX, designed for humans, desired by machines.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, was that human model? Was that in Unreal?
That was Unreal. Yeah, he put a metahuman inside of Unreal Engine and was able to put dress her and
like
and stuff.
track the
So
movement.
let's dissect this real fast.
Yeah.
So all right, I'm gonna play it again. So here we go. Here's our first scene. So he has our Unreal Engine environment, our pillars that he want to have in here. We have the car that we're going to have practically. So in Unreal Engine, you have everything scaled to 1-to-1. So that car is to the scale. That person is to the scale. So that was that's kind of really important whenever you're building all these assets. And there's measuring tools so you can keep everything to scale, right? So, but he was able to take the screen grab, okay? And then the reason she is walking is because he had a first shot and a second shot. He put our metahuman right here, and then took another shot over here. And then he ran that through an AI application like Kling or Runway or VO3, right? So all of those will let you start and end your frame. So from there, he could just generate that image.
Yeah.
And now we move on to the next shot, right? So we have our one image shot. He got the camera angle in Unreal Engine. He drove it with his mouse. I was like, I love this angle, right? Took a screen grab, high resolution export inside of Unreal Engine, dropped it into AI. Give me a little bit of movement. Boom, next shot. Right? And so he just took his shot list in his mind of every single shot, put that into a timeline. So he created a little bit of movement in it so he could start telling his timing a little bit better, can finesse it. This maybe he tried to create this shot like 4 times.
Yeah.
Right? So, but he got to massage out the idea, right? So again, he probably had inside of Unreal Engine, this is probably a stock image, to be honest, right? But it's still telling the story. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Suraj found this, but if it were me, I would go find that angle. I'm like, I love this shot, and then go put that in there for me to be able to showcase the angle, the exact angle that I want to showcase. It's so important that that button was pushed, right, to start this and cue this whole series of things. right? Again, he's just exporting these images. This probably was a stock image, right? Maybe a still, like maybe this is a still, and he just told AI to make a push in,
Yeah.
right? So you don't even have to use Unreal Engine to tell your story, right? So maybe go find 30 different shots of car angles that you like, and then you can start telling the story that you want, right? There were some shots that he put in here that, you know, represented some things. Like I think this shot right here was gonna represent like a burnout, which you'll see here in the video here shortly. Beautiful shots. Wanted to have a lot of shaking of the camera, you know,
Bunch of flashing
and then
lights and stuff.
flashy lights, and then at the end he wanted to be smooth again. So it's like some like camera shakes and handheld looks and stuff, and then we cut to our final end. It needs to be super smooth.
Yeah.
Right? To distinguish each scene from each other. I knew that was very important for him just when watching his videos. I think he didn't really know what he wanted right here on this shot. Yeah, like this one. He knew he wanted to do something very interesting because he just reversed this clip, so it made it feel unnatural. So if you watch it again, like she's like reversing, so he wanted to feel like not right in a sense. So we kind of, this was one of those things that he wanted to take into interpretation, I guess. So he's like, let's get this and see what works, so it looks good, and you'll see that shot here later. And it's honestly one of my favorite shots now, and it's one of the shots that people like to refer to now. They're like, oh, I want to get the shot like that.
Like by people you mean like your clients?
Clients,
or?
yeah. People that go and watch this video and they're like, hey, Justin, I saw your virtual production project. I love this shot. I want to do this in my video. So
that's cool.
It's all stems over. Okay. So that was his animatic, done with some stock footage, done with some Unreal Engine, taking those still images and then bringing them into AI to give them animation, putting them into Premiere or DaVinci or whatever editing software he liked to use, and then splice that story together. Maybe that was an AI, maybe it was his wife. I don't know who the audio was, but definitely got the voiceover so we can get the timing of everything. So when he came into our studio, he had the animatic, the storyboard, the visuals, the whole thing ready to go for us. So all we had to do was really execute. And that's the ultimate thing that I wanted to kind of get back to, was that once you use these tools, you can come armed to a production ready to go. You can save yourself tens of thousands of dollars to just by knowing every single detail of the project, right? From how long is this shot going to be, where and what are all the props going to be, what is the tone, the lighting, the demo. So when we get to set, everybody can watch the whole thing. So our lighting department, our actors, our makeup artists, our whole team is all in synchronized with each other, which after doing the shoot, it was just so game changing for me, right? We've been doing, huge level virtual productions, and I do a free project with a director from New York, and I learned so much. So I think that just goes to say, don't stop learning. Try to keep doing new things. And sometimes you got to do free things so you can scratch that new thing that you want to do, like hit that new level, right? If you've never done it before, go and do it before you can sell it. Because now, since we've did this one, we've sold it a dozen times, right? People, like a dozen different companies have come in and hired us, and they use this video. We've used this video as a reference. We're like, hey, these are what's possible. And it's like, boom, now we could showcase it.